Welcome back to our episode. Ryan and Kevin here with Chaos MMA. Today we have on Tuan Ho, who fights at LFA 149 January 6th. Han, how you doing?
Doing great, guys. How you guys doing, man?
We're doing great. Another
Good.
day in the books. We're here out on the East Coast. I know you're out in Arizona, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. So what did the day consist of for you today? How's it been like a month out before the fight?
This right now the face is just to stay on my diet, which I have a hard time doing because I love eating, but right now it's just staying disciplined on my diet, losing my weight safely, getting down to about 135, and then cutting the rest of the water weight the day before weigh-in. So right now for me, it's just taking it easy and just roll and just keep training and staying on my diet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Antoine, it's almost 2023. It sounds crazy saying it. It's almost 2023, but can you summarize how 2022 was for you as a fighter?
Yeah, man, it's awesome, man. In the beginning of the year, I started turning professional in my I turned professional in my MMA career, and that was something that I really wanted to do ever since I started martial arts, and that has always been the goal for me. And for me to go out there and win both of my fights and like that, man, it can't be any greater.
Yeah, and I know it's probably hard because if you had asked me what my favorite moment of 2022 was, it'd be hard. But for you, what's your favorite moment? Is it that Sports Center top 10 moment? Like, well, what is it for you that made it the best moment of 2022?
Best moment of 2022. Yeah, that would be one of them. But for me, man, I just take it day by day. Like I just like to train, bro. Like
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you're training hard. Training camp, it seems like it's been going well. How is training camp going? We're a month out about the fight. You say you're trying to cut down to that 135 range. How is it cutting weight during the training camp? Like, are you still able to go full go every time? Like, how's training camp been so far?
It's been good. Like the diet is a little bit easier to adapt because I'm starting to get used to it. I've been doing this since I was 14. And so like everything just been smooth sailing. And the energy level I would say would go back a little bit because of like how the portion of the food.
Yeah.
But I try to time it, like I try to time it 3 hours before I work out so that when practice comes, like I'll have energy.
Yeah.
And I like to spend all my energy just in practice.
Yeah, and are you meal prepping through your camps, or are you just eating like, or do you have a chef by any chance, or somebody like coaching you through it? Like, how are you
Well,
getting the right amount of stuff in your system?
I have a program that I go through with my nutritionist. He gives me exactly what I need, and he just gave me a grocery list, and I cook my own
Mhm.
food. Like I always like to cook when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong cooking. Seems like the diet's going well for you. And I wanted to bring this up because whenever we watch a fight of yours, especially 2022, you always feel like there's something crazy is about to happen. Like you have that anticipation that something's about to happen crazy. Like you don't know what's next, whether it's the spinning back fist, whether it's the head kick. You don't know what's coming next. Is that something? Are you working on anything new for this upcoming fight? I know you don't want to spoil anything, but have you been working on anything new?
Well, I don't want to spoil it, and I also don't want my opponent to know what I want to do. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be something spectacular.
You can tell us behind the scenes.
Oh,
Yeah. No. So Antoine, I gotta ask you, January 6th, you go out there. How are you winning this fight? How does Antoine win this fight January 6th?
every time I go out to fight, the goal is to win. Like it doesn't matter how I win, I just want to win. But it's hard for me not to go out there and not wanting to get the KO because that's what the people want. And it's easy for me because I'm a striker and I have very good distance management. And I feel like a lot of fighters don't really know like the game as much as I do. So when I go out there, I feel like it's a little bit easier for me to go just to knock people out.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
doubt.
and do you think Edwin can challenge you with really anything, or are you just that much better than him overall?
Um, I mean, it's a fight, so anything could happen. But I feel like my preparation and my skills are going to lessen the risk.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming soon, January 6th. You versus Edwin. Gonna be a great fight. I mean, I'm ready for the surprise. You have me tuned, you'll have me tuned in. But for you, you go out there, you win this fight. You fought 2 times in 2022. What is the goal for like 2023? Do you feel like you want to fight 2 times again, or maybe even go a little bit more than that? Like, what do you want to do? What is the road for you? You feel like?
So planning planning for this year coming up, I have 3 more fights in my LFA contract,
Okay.
and I really want to get all 3 done by the end of the year. That's what I was shooting for this year. I was trying to get it all done, but like you fight and then you have to take time off, and it's kind of like it's a long road just to get to the fight. So my plan is just to get the 3 fights and then go to the UFC by the end of this year or beginning of the year after that.
Yeah, and is that like the bold prediction for you? The UFC, like after this year or this year, that's the road. Like, is that something you always dreamed of as like a kid when you first started off signing with the UFC, fighting in the UFC one day, like hearing Bruce Buffer call your name?
Oh yeah, yeah. Ever since I started, I always knew I wanted to be an MMA fighter.
Yeah,
And the biggest organization right now is the UFC. So that's where I want to go.
can't wait, man.
Yeah, and so if you had to take a guess, you think the UFC would just like say everything goes perfect? Do you think the UFC would just sign you, or do you think you would have to take like the more contender series route?
It doesn't really matter to me which road I take. I feel I feel that I train with a lot of skill and high level fighters at the MMA lab, and a lot of people don't know, but I was actually Sugar Sean's training partner for the Peter Yan fight, and I had a lot of rounds, like a lot of hard rounds with Sugar, and like we had some really good exchanges, and I feel like my skill level is up there, and it doesn't matter which road they want me to take. I feel like I have the confidence and the skills to get there.
Yeah, and you said Sugar Sean, that is news to us. So like, how did that go? Like, did you learn a lot from Sugar Sean, like a guy that's already done this? He's on the top level right now. Like, how much did you learn from those training sessions with Sugar Sean O'Malley?
Man, it blows my mind how high level, like there are levels into this game, man. Like
Yeah.
he's been training since he was 14, just like me, or 15. But he's been training like as me, like just like me, and I feel like I'm just walking the path that he has walked. Like I really believe when you
Yeah.
meet someone, when you cross road with someone, it's for a reason. And I feel like that reason is for me to learn the lessons along the way and to learn about uh, the mistakes that he has made, or like the success that he has made in the UFC, and to make it my own.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you
That's
learned a lot from
beautiful,
him.
man.
Yeah.
That inspired me.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to clip that little speech you just gave.
Yeah.
But before we let you go, we just do a little segment just to get to learn more about the fighter. So we're gonna ask some quick questions and then you just give answers, all right?
Okay.
So first one, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food would be Hawaiian barbecue.
Okay. You,
I,
that sounds good. Favorite
oh yeah.
movie?
My favorite movie. That's a hard one because I don't really watch a lot of movies.
Well, what's the most
But
recent movie you've seen?
well, I've been watching this show called Raising Canaan. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. I think it's something connected to power. I
Okay.
don't know if you guys have heard of
Nah,
power.
is it on
Oh,
Netflix?
oh, 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 Powered on Hulu, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I watched it. I love Power. It's
I love
connected
that.
to it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
If you,
Okay.
if you like that show, you should watch Raising Canaan, because that's Canaan is the guy. I think it's 50 Cent,
Oh,
and it
oh,
goes
he's
back.
Kane.
Yeah, it
No.
goes back to the timeline when he was a little kid, and how he came up. It was pretty cool.
Oh my God. I did not know that was a thing. All right. Let's get back into it though. So, what's your favorite MMA fight?
My favorite MMA fight. Oh, that's hard too. Um, I would say Henry Cejudo versus Demetrius Johnson because
The
those
first or second one, or
I would say the
the second
second one.
one? The
I
second
would
one?
say yeah because those two were so high level, and
Yeah.
it's so rare to have two very high level athlete like that compete because like nowadays there's just a lot of people that say they want to fight people but in the back end they don't really want to fight them. And I feel like that was a great fight because two of the goats competing to see who comes out on top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that matchup is crazy to me because if you really think about it, I mean, especially at that small weight class, like they're moving so fast, and you got two of the greatest of all time. So that
Yeah,
matchup is
Yeah. And now they're training together too, which is cool to see. They're learning from each other. And the last two ones coming up, MMA GOAT.
MMA goat. I think it would have to be. Oh, that's so hard.
I know. I know.
Uh, I would say John Jones, even though he hasn't fought recently, but I feel like with his career and what he has done, like since he was like a kid, he only lost once um from elbowing someone illegally,
I
and
know.
that's pretty
it's
crazy.
Yeah. And
I
would
feel like if
you
you were tied right now, he would you if he never fought again, he would still go down as the
Exactly.
GOAT. Like so he
Yeah,
doesn't even have to fight again.
exactly.
are you gonna pick him? You think he beats Francis if they end up fighting in March?
That's a hard.
I
Yeah,
don't know
that
who to
is a
pick for
tough
that one.
fight.
Like
I
that's a
really
tough one.
I really like John Jones and I like his skill set, but he hasn't fought in a while. And
No.
Francis has fucking power, dude. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Lord.
Yeah.
All right, so last question, I promise. Where does Antoine see himself a year from now?
A year from now, right now, from right now, I see myself getting into the UFC, getting signed, and getting my career started.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
I can't
Love it,
wait.
man. Thank you again so much for coming on. And if you have any sponsors to shout out, any social media, the floor is yours, man.
I would like to shout out my recent sponsor, Luxury Auto Collection. They're a luxury car dealership here in Arizona, and yeah, if you guys want to buy some car, I'm up. And I also am at Eminem Recovery Center, and this is like a place that I go to every day mostly, and you can see here we have a lot of
Oh,
people
that's
here.
fire.
Little
What's
tour of
up?
the facility. What's up?
A lot of stuff
That's
Very nice.
sick.
here. Eminem Wellness Center. So if you guys are athletes, professional athlete, amateur athlete,
Where
and
is
you
it
guys
at?
this is in North Scottsdale.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find. Here we go.
Okay.
Eminem.
There it is.
A minute. Well, okay.
There's. Well, again, thank you so much, Antoine,
That sounds yeah. That's sick.
for coming on again. It was very good speaking with you. We had a great conversation. We hope to have you on again. And I have a gut feeling. It's very rare when we have fighters on. I just have a gut feeling I'm gonna see you in the UFC. I'm gonna be watching on the TV. I'm be like, it's my fucking boy. Let's go. I have a gut feeling I'm gonna see him in the UFC one day, and I can't wait to speak to you next, man.
I love it, bro. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime, man. Go look for the fight. We can't wait. Thanks again. We'll speak soon.
Thank you. Have
Love
a
you.
good one, man.
Yeah. Have a good one,
Peace.
man.